In einem day, dar Christa vak, dar muire a vahir, dar páric abstal gael, dar dílseacht chuilim chile, dar clú ar gine, dar crú ar sinchar, dar dún varó roa, dar bas trovelach neil, dar iu oin ró, dar mianantá selig le hochta váis, dar osna góling an jaraltig, dar creachtiv crólíntacha tón, dar fuil osel emmet, dar corpaiv an gorta, dar dórev dóri na ngel, de veremid na mianna de verach ar sinchir, go vos glomid de geven ar ginne, no go ditimid baun le baun.
Mianúd vinnig páric MacFéris, sé a cholíana san na chamóra mid an se. Cholíana a rinneú in nachlí a dubhlinne chuslife, maidin luan chásca, im líon ar díirna míle nígéad agus a sédiag.
I had a true love if ever a girl had one. I had a true love, a brave lad was he. One fine Easter Monday, with his gallant comrades, he started away for to set Ireland free.
Is amí fardílis a Éirí Amach maidin luan cháscúd na cinúna. Óigir agus seanir, múnteoirí agus firchair de bhleat lia. Agus in áiteach chéal fud na tíre ó gaile go lech Réamoinn Éirí Amach. Iad ar éon chospóir amháin agus darn na lán nach ras a chospóir sin a crína dí chéile.
I have met them at close of day, coming with vivid faces from counter or desk among grey 18th century houses. I have passed with a nod of the head, or polite, meaningless words, or have lingered a while and said polite, meaningless words, and thought before I had gone of a mocking tale or a jibe to please a companion around the fire at the club, being certain that they and I but lived where motley is worn. All changed, changed utterly. A terrible beauty is born.
Bláthú úd na háileachta agus a sceoin, do bada a híl I dalamh. Céad go le bliain roimhe sin, im líon na nócha hocht, se hainneach an tine bheo a bheithaigh lasar úr na cásca.
Maiden lún cain císeam, lawr an sifran syng lawn. Da valid an y cog, honna ffordd I anna hon. Da chringim an y deimbol, is the loss mar dain tam. Is the hog mar kjodriach dam, ga hiving on sagaun. Is mo balum maragum, is kaher hiving hjol. Is kortigas nasasnig, on sasavaun argorm. Berskial a crying a wall a woon, den on di an afren. Gar hon schlecher kon rashing, on sasavaun fivron. Da weg hasen buchel is an kalin kaun bekans. Da wir gemachsos Hwyrish knavarm. Barish gialla crying do wemshe, Gobel Captain Lambert forlang. Heaven klega huigen nach, gan tome en alang. Is kavil na meaning, non firga marid biom. Na kring shir no dimple, is caroling sing lom. Maris ducker puert de strike, na klana bore gibend. On the mal doch is dilish, Vigar shine shar yevaron.
Tinne úd na bliana nócha hocht, no bás lasir ba hinna fós a hainagi héin. Lasir a wair go foian tre gorcadas na híthe fada treis húrna van náisiún gailig céad blian rivis in a ríis. De chonig Davio broeder an túrnaf an lungvrische úd, agus de chuir fínas lena scríbin arif fóla. Hig ag an ó rahile, go deru le réim na bhlá fan a rih han rih ag de Christ. Ac ma bhí nuin agus deru le an, ni rá deru dóchis an. De wair an aisling I gcónaí. Agus má heper aisling bheil na vili a chuir a muín as an stívertach. De hánig an aisling I gríc go fírinneach, céad blin in ní a bhrisio liminig, nor a de héad gui úr, gui nua, gui chréan, on bhrein car farig an ón.
'Twas early, early, all in the spring. The birds did whistle and sweetly sing, changing their notes from tree to tree, and the song they sang was Old Ireland Free.
To subvert the tyranny of our execrable government, to break the connection with England, the never-failing source of all our political evils, and to assert the independence of my country, these were my objects. To unite the whole people of Ireland, to abolish the memory of all past dissensions, and to substitute the common name of Irishman in place of the denominations of Protestant, Catholic and dissenter, these were my means.
Mar sin the scríb Theobald Wolfe sa bhrín 16 héan, agus in aimsir héin sé the scríb an Piersach.
I hold all Irish nationalism to be implicit in these words. The credo is here. I believe in one Irish nation, and that free.
Rights of Man, a tagtar an bhúmsan, léirú fónta go leor an gaí a neachaí suscéal nua na réabhlóide isteach sa dúchas. Mar bíoch grón íosach de tháinig an sprid de bhrostig Éirí Amach nócha hocht, ba gear grón sprid sin fitte fuite I seanna chuimhní na muintere a chred go bhecadíist fós an lá geall ag Éirí chéamh na gréine go chlíomh na man.
That God spoke to Ireland through Tone, and through those who after Tone have taken up his testimony, that Tone's teaching and theirs is true and great, and that no other teaching as to Ireland has any truth or worthiness at all, is a thing upon which I stake all my mortal and all my immortal hopes. And I ask the men and women of my generation to stake their mortal and immortal hopes with me.
Nuair a rinne an Piersach an achanne sin, bhí sé seasamh hagas tón, hagas gan dávísi, hagas gan vistéala, agus hagas hémasí leathlóir. Déta sé freisin seasamh íana sin a nachtraí a hála ní noch a hocht. Or má brisú gael I muo agus I loch Garmainn, bhí síl na bui sam risú. Má chaileadar a meo ní an eisce mar tháinig éirí in a ní ó glúin go glúin.
The hangman showed the pale head to the people and announced, "This is the head of a traitor, Robert Emmet." A traitor? No, but a true man. Oh, my brothers, this was one of the truest men that ever lived. This man was faithful even unto the ignominy of the gallows, dying that his people might live, even as Christ died. Be assured that such a death always means a redemption. Emmet redeemed Ireland from acquiescence in the Union. His attempt was not a failure, but a triumph for that deathless thing we call Irish nationality. It was by Emmet that men remembered Ireland until Davis and Mitchell took up his work again, and 48 handed on the tradition to 67, and from 67 we receive the tradition unbroken.
Ka schauen ich lerne ich heme in I lere shavimsche mar den fies on ihe van a sheer holle soil Mach ne shall me heni den of a muswinte I geestuk die guilte le bing ran noon. Nu a holan ka takte neer, is gloren de nake takte le shit, la fue man adam de chirihan schlief, is neer vingling ang lor. On dar ganadvar, Maria garda da hanani, is mo husen no sarir, the fog fevron. Niran verbanna paiste, imon eitrivan tike, och no gara de vike, agus milt alla gon. A fjaken terrangarde, et hakt leidir na dimpal, a lava kisseliane, is a skilene dro. Ein lugaljan I vadigin, she doet gak flager weilesh trill, gluishig I marathon kadarir, agus temish na hoir. Anadar na sarir, I gwimahish le clanagir, is meine dar na pointig le foniger sjål.
An treidje sprega tóran sin, byddig le roi dirha, min achtra I gogan an jachwe. Ach nírveg le rá ein treid, dan jarnoidir blina noch a hocht agus blina sédiog. Gach buile dar bolo, bo buile connosir sé.
Ach gallam se rí bin té a fasil, go bhí ribbon men a lochas láinte, sun gach a líd a rádan na sí, fí hiuk fí neachtas fí váisteach. Kís an rí ni bheith festel a ník, Deachú ná níorbe ní bheith trochtéid, bei talan a luach is clana gael suas agus Saxony buartha cráte.
Anta na raftarí a dúirt agus é malú na móchalí bána. Ach bhí gaiscíoch a chináil eile huas an úrúd agus bhil raftarí eisian chomá.
Gunnaí is lábhachas tínta cráfa bei aganne máireach agus tá sé nám ó fuair ó cunail buair an ábhaid epe ó blá is bei meas chrán. I gun den chláid tá weislis ardlatha cratha lábhas a díana grín, ach bug fin gáta go nólam sláinte na bhar ó árainn go hinse chuin.
Béidir go mí an bua bhór a go cunail an chuir chuir sé agar politíocht ar gan áphobal na tíre agus nar léirí sé cócht na politíocht a dóibh. Ach ní réad sé héin an cócht sin na lábhseáil. Agus ba as tróirithe nua, tróirithe óga a chuir an glún óg an óchas. Tomás Dávis agus a chairde. Agus I measc na dróirithe óga na dróirithe nuasa hí ferháinach go háirithe ar á fuimint ar lethna hagasc, teagasc a bhí I bhíor tradiisiún tón.
Our independence must be had at all hazards. If the men of property will not support us, they must fall. We can support ourselves by the aid of that numerous and respectable class of the community, the men of no property.
In this glorious appeal to Caesar, modern Irish democracy has its origin.
An pírsach a ríise gur síos ar tón. Ach ba duine eile go bháistrí an fíorsaigh. Duine duna tróirithe nua a luamhuir, Séamus Fintán ó Leathlabhar, a bhain an chial agus an tuiscint omláin ho síalta as teagasc na réabhlóide agus an déanlathis mar a léirigh tóna. Séamus Fintán ó Leathlabhar, dósan a réanós ba glan saléir an aim.
Ireland her own. Ireland her own, and all therein from the sod to the sky, to have and hold from God alone who gave it, to have and to hold to them and their heirs forever, without suit or service, faith or fealty, rent or render to any power under heaven. Not to repeal the Union then, but the conquest. Not to resume or restore an old constitution, but found a new nation and raise up a free people, and strong as well as free, and secure as well as strong, based on a peasantry rooted like rocks in the soil of the land.
Agus dún é dhéanana ní basilléar a fós.
The principle I state, and mean to stand upon, is this: that the entire ownership of Ireland is rooted of right in the people of Ireland, that they and none but they are the landowners and lawmakers of this island, that all laws are null and void not made by them, and all titles to land invalid not conferred or confirmed by them, and that this full right of ownership may and ought to be asserted by any and all means which God has put in the power of man.
Dar leis nach rá dul in aine staire.
Mark the words of this prophecy. The principle I propound goes to the foundations of Europe, and sooner or later will cause Europe to outrise. Mankind will yet be the masters of the earth. The right of the people to make the laws, this produced the first great modern earthquake. The right of the people to own the land, this will produce the next.
Teagasc í Leathlabhar níocha sé le gaoi. Nuair a thosa cogadh na talún in áiríre, de ceangal ó muintir na tíre le glóiseach na saoirse ní bad luithe agus ní bad dochte na riamh. Ní cuspóirí náisiúnta bháin dá iarde iad, nó eslingína vilí a bháin dá áile iad, nó spregú lucht ó ráide a bháin dá líofa iad, an gríosa bó festa, ach rud ba ghuire I wad an chnád. Is I ngólta sí began na tíre, a brisfí mór gháaltas gáil. Hig Charles Stuart Parnell an méid sin, agus ba an a bhí a neart, ach ba bhóna son a léirgus.
It is given to none of us to forecast the future. And just as it is impossible for us to say in what way or by what means the national question may be settled, in what way full justice may be done to Ireland, so it is impossible for us to say to what extent that justice should be done. We cannot ask for less, we cannot, under the British Constitution, ask for more than the restitution of Grattan's Parliament. But no man has a right to fix the boundary of the march of a nation. No man has a right to say, thus far shalt thou go, and no further.
I have said again and again that when the Gaelic League was founded in 1893, the Irish Revolution began.
Nuair a dúirt an pírsach an méid sin, ní séanú sean Tiomna na réabhlóid a bhí sé, ach a fáiltiú raibh an eisling úr. Tréis de Farnell a hitim de le néal éadóchais ar fud na héireann, ach ní raibhánach néal. Faoi dhearr hir bhí an lágeal a teacht.
O maidin fach leabhaig do chula gananin, the smuine sa gur chóirdam dal a múscuilt stichan fér. Da bhfuil mis a cíamh na hocht a si círa fuilt gur ré. An chúlan I líg bavra cro na nela ranéisk. Machrí gar chré a ihrí cadin tír gur a vas an vé. An tú perla til tjóning réig dar ré agus dagna rekken tré. Nor déidre ho grok levis cian da níse callach lé. Non vanna rúg le hálacht cro an túlóm iéir. A hárir hilik na ráte silt ní héine cosan mé. Ach béis a mé gan chélar be ke gur fada mé fui len. Besgélan is gur derú sin ag tréad an ilksan chléin. Gan vregan is tan termestig beir a gyn fwy réim.
Se bhí an termiste, an glún óg de chonig an eisling, de higadidir son go raibh, agus go méach éirico faoi réim. Ag sar a méach begin rud eile a thuirtí grích, an rudar thug Douglas de Hide the de-Anglicization of Ireland.
What the battle axe of the Dane, the sword of the Norman, the wile of the Saxon were unable to perform, we have accomplished ourselves. We have at last broken the continuity of Irish life. And just at the moment when the Celtic race is presumably about to largely recover possession of its own country, it finds itself deprived and stripped of its Celtic characteristics. Cut off from the past, yet scarcely in touch with the present. It has lost since the beginning of this century almost all that connected it with the era of Cuchulainn and of Ossian, that connected it with the Christianizers of Europe. It has lost all that they had in language, tradition, music, genius, and ideas. Just when we should be starting to build up anew the Irish race and Gaelic nation, as within our own recollections Greece has been built up anew, we find ourselves despoiled of the bricks of nationality. The old bricks that lasted 1800 years destroyed, we must now set to make new ones, if we can, on other ground and of other clay. Imagine for a moment the restoration of a German-speaking Greece.
Marsha Shadavinig and Piersach and Frein.
I believe that there is a spiritual tradition which is the soul of Ireland, the thing which makes Ireland a living nation, and that there is such a spiritual tradition corresponding to every true nationality. Freedom is a condition which can be lost and won and lost again. Nationality is a life which, if once lost, can never be recovered. A nation is a stubborn thing, very hard to kill, but a dead nation does not come back to life any more than a dead man. Had the last repositor of the Gaelic tradition, the last unconquered Gael, died, the Irish nation was no more. Any free state that might thereafter be erected in Ireland, whatever it might call itself, would certainly not be the historic Irish nation. Hence, the language, which is the main repository of Irish life, the folklore, the music, the art, the social customs, must be preserved.
Agus the Lee and Piersach gwine illa da wash tree, Thomas Davish.
The language of a nation's youth is the only free and full speech for its manhood and for its age. And when the language of its cradle goes, itself craves a tomb.
Sinean Crediv, a hug fir agus mana oga chunran na Gaelge, go hesh Éirí na Casca.
Tá lissachainin féirich leis agam féinnig am mon ma hí, agus bíon gach maidin gréine an spéir van án sí Róm na sí. Tá leabhrána cid an ghaeling, is begáinin den bhéirle tríd, sa mon sa már gach bhéirsa, go meg éire ag cáit ní ghaír.
O Roshedva Hawalla, O Roshedva Hawalla, O Roshedva Hawalla, Nisher Hachton Tarig. Shedva Havan Ballenvar, Bear Gracht Hove Hingeving, to go hivra, Ishelv Snagalav. O Roshedva Hawalla, O Roshedva Hawalla, O Roshedva Hawalla, Nisher Hachtan Tarig. Tagranju ele tjacht har seile, oglig arm helle margarde, Gaelit fennis ni galna spaniges kyrkid roinger galv. O Roshedva Hawalla, O Roshedva Hawalla, O Roshedva Hawalla, Nisher Hachtan.
The an cleave solish shagliasa is an hogli armha a crinu hart ar grania wheel. Agus the tugu an shan Tiomna, agus an ashling nua lichele, chush ui yirmud di gonavain rossa.
A chorge nábíoch brón ar aine tá na hasag an uig seo. Ach bíoch buchas agan in ar gríhibh de dhéan an rás, de chrothí anam úsal álan dhearmadí gonavain rossa, agus thug ré adachó ar an síalsa. Ba chalam an ferthú dhearmid, is tréan daris cahar san kit de chinne, is ní beagar alingis, agus ní dhéanthig gael darmadort go brach na brethe. Ach a cháde ná bíoch brón orin, ach bíoch misnach in ar gríhibh, agus bíoch nart in ar gaislaniv. O'r cifni mis nach mi'n ein wasan, nach mi'n ashairi yn I ie. Agus garabasan oisha, agus as na honiv atá yn ar dimpel, eiros syrsha gael.
Sia hí tawan a bhar ag Éirí suas, agus ní chun dlína Franca chur í réim an bauta seo ach dlína héran a chur í réim, agus choram féine a riar chách. Mar bhí múscuilt il agus ólam, gúchas agus eilúint, í ranga an chonartha, í muontan an óglach, í ggóirlí rún de bhrathachas na poblachta agus í bolítíocht feibli sin féin. An gaelbocht rís in a ceart a dúirt fila nócha hocht. Ba mian chrí glún na heis Éirí fósa, a gur a bíad héin a chuirech í bhaid mé. Bhí muinín acu as dia agus as the héin. Bhí anam a rís in éiring. Gí the véir gom a searmh an sciol.
I'll sing you a song of peace and love. White follow diddle follow die do day. Of a land that reigns all lands above. White follow diddle follow die do day. May peace and plenty be her share. Who kept our homes from want and care. Oh, God bless England is our prayer. White follow diddle follow die do day. White follow diddle follow die do day. So we say, hip hooray, come and listen while we pray. White follow diddle follow die do day. When we were savage, fierce and wild, white follow diddle follow die do day. She came as a mother to her child. White follow diddle follow die do day. Gently raised us from the slime and kept our hands from hellish crime. Aye, and sent us to heaven in her own good time. White follow diddle follow die do day. White follow diddle follow die do day. So we say, hip hooray, come and listen while we pray. White follow diddle follow die do day. Our fathers oft were naughty boys. White follow diddle follow die do day. Pikes and guns are dangerous toys. White follow diddle follow die do day. From Balanob we to Peter's Hill, they made poor England weeper fill. But all Britannia loves us still. White follow diddle follow die do day. White follow diddle follow die do day. So we say, hip hooray, come and listen while we pray. White follow diddle follow die do day. So Irishmen forget the past. White follow diddle follow die do day. Think of the day that is coming fast. White follow diddle follow die do day. When we shall all be civilized, neat and clean and well advised. Oh, won't Mother England be surprised? White follow diddle follow die do day. White follow diddle follow die do day. So we say, hip hooray, come and listen while we pray. White follow diddle follow die do day.
Dúchas an sin gan éon bhréag. Dúchas crua géir na gnámhaintere a bhí róada ina gosmhaintir. Agus má bhí eilúinte dhíthar an dúchas san, bhí sin le fáil. An teagas go chréal sémas ó leathlóir go phobal a aimsir a héin, an teagas go spreag cogan a talún agus a bhún le clinsi a sóisialta an náisiúin, tugu chun práine agus chun feirefacht é I diagas chéimiisi chun ile.
As we have again and again pointed out, the Irish question is a social question. The whole age-long fight of the Irish people against their oppressors resolves itself in the last analysis into a fight for the mastery of the means of life, the sources of production in Ireland. Yet, plain as this is to us today, it is undeniable that for 200 years at least, all Irish political movements ignored this fact, and were conducted by men who did not look below the political surface. These men, to arouse the passions of the people, invoked the memory of social wrongs, such as evictions or famines. But for these wrongs proposed only political remedies, such as changes in taxation or transference of the seat of government, class rule, from one country to another. Hence, they accomplished nothing, because the political remedies proposed were unrelated to the social subjection at the root of the matter. The revolutionists of the past were wiser. The Irish socialists are wiser today. In their movement, the North and South will again clasp hands. Again will it be demonstrated, as in '98, that the pressure of a common exploitation can make enthusiastic rebels out of a Protestant working class, earnest champions of civil and religious liberty out of Catholics, and out of both a united social democracy.
Ceachtas na réalta agus a clíomh solis, ocras a chuilp agus tart na hanama, eisling a fírsig agus suscéal a chonilig agus an sean tiomna a tháinig díra cútha réan ó Hamas ó cléirí. Ní raibh ille I nearan ódála ach éon scéal amháin, éon chreideamh amháin, éon dóchas amháin. Bóchailí ón dua agus ceardathe na catharach Locht léin agus filíocht agus tlaíocht agus ceol, oltagus muoinig, leinigus connachtig. Braithre an éon chomain a bhí ionta festa, agus maidin luan chásca, de chólad an glór.
Braithre an éon chomain tínam chun siúl, tan bhaidin bhagúr, Arna dúch I fós, sin blahan a ngéag, siad iscí go suach, is an délúr go flúirseach a sciún a roid. Is le fáin a lei, riving réin a rún, an trád a bónliom siúl ar a chóid. Chant in an in synger hung is an speir alone an drocht njal hioi.
Fornacht de channachú áile na háile, sta alles mo húl aglaga stánhing. De hólas de cheol a vinge na binge, sta húnas mo chlós aglaga glishing. De vlasjes de veel le wielsje na mielsje, is de groos me chrie agla me wielte. De galles me hoel is me gloos de gones, de groos me chrie is me wien de woeges, de hugges me hoel an eschling de gammes, an rood so room, maig de hugges. De hugges me gnoes an rood so room, een gnief de chiem, is a más de jód.
Maidin luan chásca de Éirí Amach. Braithre an éon chomain, clán na heis Éirí, piersach agus an conílach, mac díormada is ceant, is na léachra gala go léir. Éirí Amach bhóthar na síirse, is ní ar na éineacha gá le dá chraí.
I had a true love if ever a girl had one. I had a true love, a brave lad was he. One fine Easter Monday with his gallant comrades, he started away for to set Ireland free. So all around my hat I'll wear a tricoloured ribbon, oh, all round my hat until death comes to me. And if anybody's asking why do I wear it, it's all for my true love I never more shall see. His bandolier around him, his bright bayonet shining, his short service rifle, a beauty to see. There was joy in his eyes, though he left me behind him, and started away for to set Ireland free. He whispered, "Goodbye, love, old Ireland is calling. High over Dublin our tricolour flies. In the streets of the city the foeman is falling, and wee birds are singing, Old Ireland arise. In praying and watching the dark days passed over, the roar of the guns brought no message to me. I prayed for all Ireland, I prayed for my lover, that he might be saved and old Ireland be free.
Agus in dhé sin sé dúirta fille.
An cín le féiles a séirí na cásca ráidan an éfá clia. Sna síl se hainag sa leismhór náire ráidan an éfá clia. Níor vada réis is scéib farír. Be an falla géir is an pléir an díl. Agus flachan na féinges an éil in a lí a ráidan an éfá clia. De chnicwyr óglig gleoit yn y sirse rhaid yn éfá clia, agus boran y hoiges yn vortis sy chríco rhaid yn éfá clia. A cahafa ble a sgan yn ead yn gawl, ach ag brac o lefi yn tead gytawn, agus lab yn felig reg y bawl a rhaid yn éfá clia. Tá ceann saon go traum a clúdach sráidan an éfá clia, agus seoltar an chlán ó gáin an hiúnis ar sráidan an éfá clia. An ngúirnán gaothe bíon cuin agus gáir, tre bhort na mílte gan fuiseamh go brach, nó go móthaigh an rion dar híbre go más ar sráidan an éfá clia.